right, we are live. Excuse the strange, glare here. I'm right next to the windows and the sun is just beaming down directly on my head. So anyway, welcome to the live stream. Today we're just going to be wrapping up the last of the Kickstarter rewards. I'm going to be packaging them up and getting them ready to ship probably on Monday. I already made my first run to the post office, and by the time I'm done, they'll likely be closed today. So it'll have to wait until Monday morning to send those out. But I'm going to wrap up the last, how many do I have? I sent out a bunch earlier this afternoon. I'm going to count this up because I have a little list. There it goes. Okay. That way there's not a lot of glare. This is the list of backers that I have shipped to. So that's 1, 2. That's 9 people that I have shipped rewards out to already. And there were 19 Kickstarter backers, of which 3 of them don't get physical rewards. So that's 16. So 16 minus 9 is 7. I have 7 people left to wrap up Kickstarter packages for. After I wrap up those packages, I'm going to send out little shipping notifications to all of these people that I have already shipped out to let them know that their package is shipped, and I have their tracking numbers, and I will share the tracking numbers and everything. That way, that's all square. By the way, I'm having the last of a homemade recipe of my own. It's a pizza quesadilla. Super easy. All it is mozzarella cheese and pepperoni. But it's tasty. Okay. Time to start wrapping these up. First thing I'm going to do, looking at this list of backers, is I am bringing up my list of patrons, because I went through the list of backers and I made notes as to on Kickstarter itself as to which backer was a patron, and I have that little sub list already. Thank you, Kickstarter, for making this super easy to do. A lot of those. Okay, the last 2. I have 2 patrons left to ship out to, and then the rest are regular backers. Okay. One thing I've been trying to do with the patrons who backed the Kickstarter, especially for this month, is I've been trying to include their Christmas presents with their Kickstarter rewards. That way it saves me on shipping, full disclosure, but I like throwing a little extra in there for patrons anyway. It's the season. I might as well throw in a Christmas present because, yeah. Okay. First, grab a book, and I will sign. Kickstarter backers get autographed copies of new books. I've been writing so many notes that my handwriting has gotten super janky. I am so sorry. I also forgot to go shopping for comic bags at my comic shop. So I will be using the last of what I have, but I'm also going to be pilfering other plastic bags that I have in the house, as well as what comic bags I have out of my own personal collection of comics. So if you see me kind of running back and forth a lot, that's why. Thankfully, there's not that many to wrap up in the first place, but still. Okay. So, also, patrons who backed the Kickstarter are going to get a patron exclusive reward for backing this Kickstarter campaign, because I like to reward my patrons who back my Kickstarter, so they get a little extra bonus gift in their reward packages. For this campaign, I did these artist trading card dragon baby sketches. I'll set a little closer so that you can get a better view of what this looks like, because this is adorable and I love it. Here's one. And here's another one. I made like 6 of these because there were 6 patrons who backed this Kickstarter campaign. I already wrapped up the previous 4, so I just have these 2 left to wrap up. Good morning, afternoon. Yeah, good morning, afternoon. It's a gorgeous day outside, actually, over here. I don't know what it's like over in Oregon, but over here it is very sunny, obviously. Like, I mean, this living room studio space gets a lot of natural heat as is, because it's south facing, and because of that the sun will just beam in here, and so this becomes kind of the warmest room by default because there's just so much sun that beams in. So that is why I am in a tank top and leggings in December. Okay, so I signed that. I'm going to get that one. This is the Kickstarter exclusive mini print of Queen Norsa. If I can get this to a point where, yeah, there she is. Cool. Where there's less glare and you can see what she looks like. And then also sticker sheets, because that was one of our stretch goals. So backers will be getting one of these as well. I'm really pleased with how this came out too. So I can't wait to see what y'all decorate with these little baby dragons, because that's going to be adorable. So this is Tom's package. So he's going to get these. Not that. This is for another backer. There's that. Thank you, Past Me, for having a comic bag and board already set aside for this particular backer, because he ordered some extra things from my online store. So I'm just going to be shipping that with the Kickstarter rewards. He's also going to get a little thing as part of a Christmas gift. Where did I put that thing? Oh, I'm close. Where is it at? There, ow! There it is. Okay. Will it fit though? I'm gonna have to trim it a bit. I mean, I'm not too terribly offended that I'm gonna have to trim it a bit, but I would almost rather not trim it. But I did not get any bigger envelopes, so. But there's enough white space around this particular piece of art that I can trim off some of it and not feel like it's gonna hurt it. I'm gonna slip a board in the back for this here reward. I'm gonna move this to the back here. And these to the back as well. Book to the front. Okay, now to trim this down. Okay, I need to get my X-Acto knife and my silver ruler for this. One sec. Ah, God, foot cramp. Ow. quite rainy today. Wonderful winter weather. Lucky you for only getting rain in your neck of the woods. And we get snow. Over here, earlier this week, there was like a good foot of snow. It's melted by now, clearly, but it was still nasty to wake up one morning and be like, why is it so bright? The only reason it can be so bright is if the sun is reflecting off of, God damn it, it's snow. So, yeah, that was exactly what my thought process was the day that there was snow. Yeah, I can trim off like an inch off of this side, and it won't cut into the art for this thing. I would show you more clearly what the art for this thing is, but I don't want to show it too much because I want it to be a surprise as much as possible on the off chance that the dude that this is intended for is watching this stream. So it is. Okay. I think maybe half an inch off each side, maybe off the top and bottom. I think I can do that. Well, definitely off the top, and that's not going to cut into anything. I might just leave it at that though, and I'll test and see if it will fit inside the envelope. It's better, but I'm going to have to trim the bottom off. Really glad that I have a grid cutting mat. It makes lining everything up so much easier to do. Okay, that ought to fit now. Heck yeah, cool. But now I need a bag for that. Well, it'll fit in there, but it's not gonna like keep it wet resistant. So it's just cold here in New Jersey. I am so sorry, my dude, but I totally feel that though. Yeah, I mean, it's not too cold over here, but it has been cold for the last few days. The inside of my house is just very warm because, again, the living room, which I'm currently in, faces south, and the sun will beam into here, and this makes it the warmest room in the house. So, like, I'm grateful for that, and I am going to miss that feature whenever I move in April or May of next year, but I'm going to enjoy it while I can. Wait a second. I have bags that will fit this thing. Got these. These are sized to fit like 11 by 14s, but this will work for this one. I'll just fold it down. Get the air out. Okay, there we go. Whew. Okay. I do have washi tape, so I will use that to tape down the little plastic bits. I've been thinking about getting into printing patterns for washi tape. I discovered that there is actually a printer that will print designs for washi tape. It's just a matter of getting everything sized and formatted for their printer. Shout out to the artist at Genghis Khan who informed me about that, because that's really cool to know. Okay. Oh yeah, that will fit, like barely, but it'll fit. So that'll work. All right, so that's okay. I have my backer report on my phone, so let me look at the backer report again just to make sure that I got everything. Oh, that was just my phone notification being like, there's a new 1-bedroom apartment for rent. And I'm like, I'm not looking for 1-bedroom apartments anymore. I was looking for 1-bedrooms before, but now I'm looking for 2 bedrooms because I have a potential roommate. It's easier to split rent when you have a roommate. Let's see. Thank you, PDF. Already got those. Book. Already sent the commission for this particular backer, so it's just the physical goods now. Cool. I was considering printing mini print versions of the commissions that these backers made, but I forgot to do it for a backer that I've already shipped rewards out for. And just to remain consistent, I am not going to print out a mini print for this particular backer of their commission. They have the digital files for it, so it's okay. You can also tell it's a warm day because both of my kitty cats have calmed down and are just basking in the sun, which is good because they've been like up in everything today. Like before I shipped out my KickStarter, my first bundle of KickStarter rewards for backers, Bree was just sniffing everything. And I'm like, stop it, cat. Alrighty. This is 4. This poor Sharpie is so tired. Oh, hey, you were talking about being in New Jersey. The backer who I'm making the package for right now is also in New Jersey. Okay. I have 1,000,000,001 shipping address labels that has my name and address on here. Turns out you make one charitable donation to one organization, and all of a sudden there's like 7 billion organizations sending you complimentary address labels with your name and address on them, asking you for your donations. And I'm just like, I can't donate to any more organizations, but I will gladly use these shipping labels. So thanks. Thank you, nonprofit organizations, for sending me these things. But now I have so many that I don't have a whole ton of people to send stuff through the mail for. And this last Kickstarter campaign only had 19 backers. So I've just been kind of using my address labels as also like a means to seal the envelopes up. So yeah, it works. I'm going to take this off the wall. I've been using this tote as a carrier for envelopes. It works. It's a good size. Excuse me. There's a cat over there. I got the PDF and I love it. Happy holidays. Yay! I'm so glad you got it. I was a little worried. I'll get into full details about that here in a minute. But like, yay, I'm glad you got it and I'm glad you love it. Thank you so much. Happy holidays. I wish I could have happy holidays, but I am scheduled to work at one of my side hustles on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So I may just open up presents tomorrow, Sunday, because Sundays are my de facto day off and I make it a point to keep them my day off. It's just I won't be able to open up presents on Christmas Day proper. I'm going to try to not do studio work on Christmas Day, though. Even if I have to go to a side hustle, I would rather just not have to do studio stuff on Christmas Day if I can help it. Okay, back to packaging. Words. Okay. Tucking that back in. Throwing that away. Ugh. I'm wearing too many sock layers. This room's too warm. The last few live streams have been trending rather long, but I don't want this particular stream to be too long because I do have a DoorDash shift later in the evening at like 5 o'clock. So this live stream may run a little while, but I don't want it to run any later than 4. We'll see how quickly I can wrap these up. Okay. Last patron to wrap up for. Got to cut into a bundle of books. Thank goodness for X-Acto knives. Makes the job so much easier. I've printed so many books with my printer that now I have all of these like chipboard backings. And I've been trying to think of ways to use them up other than as backing for packages and also as like possibly backing for homemade sketchbooks. Because I've been wanting to make some homemade sketchbooks for a little while. I have enough backboards to like justify making covers at the very least. It's just that bookmaking is kind of time consuming, depending on the particular stitching technique that you're using. All right, now for this last KickStarter record. Let's see how much longer this Sharpie lasts. Okay. You know what, though? I am going to grab that back board that I just put away. Because that would make a handy backing for this particular bag that I'm going to use. So, in that goes. In goes the board. And I'm going to fold the plastic down around this too, so that it's a more snug fit. Last patron who also backed the Kickstarter, so they get this little extra baby dragon as a reward. Let's see. Since we made the stretch goals, they get this Queen Norsa Kickstarter exclusive mini print and the baby dragon stickers. If you get these and you decorate things, I want you to like take pictures on social media and tag me because I would love to see where you put these things. I'll see about putting my social media links in the description on YouTube. You can find all of my social media links on my website, linked below. And in that goes, and I think that's everything this backer gets. Yes, that's everything for this backer. Okay, and then fold that little plasticky bit up so it's nice and snug. Seal it with washi tape. Why washi tape? Because I have a lot of it and I need to use it. So that's why. But also because it's just more colorful than regular ass tape. And also it's nicer on your products. Since washi tape is made out of rice paper, it's way gentler on certain paper products and it doesn't lift as much. All right. Oh, this sticky note reminded me. I'm going to need to bring up the spreadsheet tracking how many copies of each book that I have. That way I can update it as I go. Okay. Crap, I'm going to need to get the envelope that I just wrapped up to write "do not bend" along the bottom. I forgot to do that. Again, billions of address labels. I'm honestly not sure that I'll be able to use up all of these before I move in April. We'll see. Although half of the address labels got the spelling of the name of this town wrong, so maybe that's not such a bad thing. All right, I need to get this back out so that I can write "do not bend" along the bottom. Do not bend. So I forgot to do that. There is a rogue scarlet blocking my way. All the best. I'm having to go to work. Sorry, I can't stay. I totally get it. Do what you got to do, my dude. Although he's probably gone by now. I don't know how long that comment's been there. I'm sorry. Okay, so that was the last patron to wrap up for. I don't want to mark the boxes as rewards sent yet, though. At least not until I get to the point where I can start emailing backers to let them know what their tracking numbers are. So let's bring up the rewards not sent. That one person's done. I'm going to be cross-referencing off of this list, so I'm going to have this list over here, kind of over here. I'm going to finish up this last bite, and that'll make enough room for this notebook. Ho, 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 ho. I'll be right back. 1 sec. Okay, I'm back. Have to step carefully around this garden. Okay, bag and board put together. Oh, this is one of the high tier rewards. They asked for one of the original sketchbook pages. So, time to get this here sketchbook. I'll go ahead and show off the stickers. I love the stickers that I got for this thing. I'm trying to get it to where you can see it a bit more clearly without a lot of glare to it. Frickin' sun. Yeah, kind of. But if you're wondering why it is that there's this like big beefcakey muscly man in a snow globe, if you can see it, that guy, if you're wondering why he's there, it's because that's Jacked Frost. I totally got it from a vendor who is situated across from me at Small Press Expo. And did I get it for the pun? Yes. Yes, I did. Do I regret it? No. No, I do not. Let's see. They wanted day 5. I know which one that is. Day 5 was a really popular one. It made it to this particular backer's #1 choice, but it was a lot of people's #2 and #3 choice as well. So I'll show it here in a minute. I gotta trim this out very carefully. I would just rip it out of the sketchbook, but it's kind of stitched together rather than stapled together, so I don't want to tear the thread while getting it out. Okay, this one. This was a really popular one that people really wanted. It was this particular backer's #1 pick, but this was a lot of people's #2 and #3 pick for original sketchbook page that they wanted to get in their Kickstarter rewards. Lining it up along the edge so that I can trim off the excess white. And almost there we go. Okay. There we are. That takes care of that. Neat stickers. Yep. We made our stretch goal on Kickstarter. So folks who are getting physical rewards are going to get those stickers as part of their rewards. Because we did it. I'm really pleased with how the stickers came out too. So we got this. I'm going to have the sketchbook on standby. I think there were 1 or 2 more people who backed high enough to get original sketchbook pages. So I'll have that sitting there just in case. Let's see. Copy of the book, which is this right here. The stretch goals, putting everything together. And they are not a Patreon patrons, though. The little baby dragons that were part of the Patreon rewards have all been taken care of. They're all designated for their users. All right. Okay. Book. Original sketchbook page art. Stretch goal mini print. Stretch goal stickers. Gonna get the bag and board ready. Oh, last bag and board, or last bag, like proper comic book bag. Slip it. And slip it. Oh. We'll slip that in there, and then this. Come on, there we go. In there. I used to slip business cards into my Kickstarter packages. Not anymore. I've actually kind of stopped doing business cards. For one thing, they were expensive to print up. For another thing, there were a lot of people who would just kind of collect the business cards and then do nothing with them. So I opted to just stop printing things that cost me a lot of money that people were not using. So I just made, for convention purposes, I made a little like sign that had all my social media links, my email, and my website. And I had that set in an obvious place where people could take pictures of it. And I figured that was a better use of table space than a pile of business cards that people would just grab and forget about. So this particular reward is going to some of my super fans who are local to me. I call them super fans because they make it a point to show up to like nearly every appearance that I make in this particular region. I love them to bits for it. And every time that they come and see me, they easily drop like, oh Lord, anywhere between like $20 and $50 at my table. And I'm just like, oh my God, you don't need to do that. And they were like, yes, we do. We love you. And I'm like, oh, you're so precious. Super fans. I love them. And that goes. Oh, gotta write, do not bend. Aha, I remembered. I was just checking to see what kind of paper this was, if it was recyclable or not. It doesn't look like it is, which is a shame. There needs to be more recyclable paper when it comes to packaging. Almost forgot about this. Okay, so they are wrapped up. Let's move to the next one. Come on, Kickstarter, I think you can do it. There it goes. I already shipped your reward. I just need to send you an email with your tracking number. Already shipped yours. Jessica, I already shipped your Kickstarter package. I will email you the tracking number here shortly. That person is also done. Aha! New backer. Okay, so this person gets book. This original dragon baby painting. Yeah, you can. Yeah, there we go. Minimum amount of glare. They're going to get this because they asked. And that's it. Yep, that's it. Just the copy of the book and this thing. So I'm going to be grabbing some bubble wrap here shortly. I might need to print more Queen Northstone mini prints. So I think I still have some more rewards to package, but I'm down to my last Queen Northstone mini print. That's a little kooky. I'm gonna have to double check that and make sure that I got everything right. Okay, take that out. Now for the bubble wrap for that baby dragon painting. I have a whole bunch down here, so this will work. Oh, there's hanging accoutrement that also goes in here. But because it's other little metally bits, I'm going to get some more bubble wrap. Wrap this up. Now I'm going to get a bigger bubble wrap thing. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Maybe? Yeah, okay. Some people call this hoarding. I call it saving your resources for when you need it. Okay. Easy cat. This I'm going to get proper tape for, not the double-sided. Here we are. I would play music in the background while I work, but the last time that I had music playing in the background, I got hit with a copyright claim on YouTube. So nope, not doing that. Okay. This cat. Okay. And that goes. And this up. Okay. Will it fit? This might be a bit. Maybe if I do this. Bless you. Well, let me see if maybe there's another. Ooh. This might be better. I think this got a little bit too bulky. Yay, thank you. No problem at all. In fact, that tracking number may be sent to you sooner than you think. Let's see. Hanger put for if they wanted to hang it up on the wall. And there's also, I just wrapped up a little additional bit that they could put into the back if they wanted to just prop this thing up on the table. So they have options. They have options for how to hang that thing. Now it's just a matter of getting this into, aha! Ha 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 ha! Perfect. Okay, and that goes. And before I shove that in, I'm going to write the name and address. That way I'm not writing on an uneven surface. Okay, now I can shove this on. Might shove it in on either side though. Yeah, that's better. Maybe. Well, maybe it would be better to have it this way. There we go. Okay. Oh. Do not bend. I know it's weird and lumpy looking, but like, hopefully they get the point to not bend this. Okay. Next backer. Already sent hers. Already sent hers. Already sent hers. Oh, no, I haven't done this one yet. Okay. Ooh, this is actually one of those sketchbook pages that's not technically a sketchbook page, I don't think. There it is. So partway through the Inktober challenge, I ran out of actual like sketchbook pages in this here book, and I started drawing them on whatever scrap paper that I could find, and that's how this came about, which is what this particular backer asked for. The name of this piece was "What You Looking At? I Am the Night." It's one of my favorites. I'm probably going to make a little mini print out of this little dude. Possibly. I'm still thinking about it. I've been thinking about making mini prints out of some of the designs that have made it into sketchbooks previously. Like the Witches sketchbook have a couple of designs that would make really cool prints. Gods and Spirits have a couple of designs that would make really cool prints. Same with dragons, obviously. So they're going to get this. And let's see. Copy of the book, this, the sticker sheet, and the original sketchbook. This was their #1 pick. So I'm going to send them that. Let's see. Is this big enough to house? Heck yeah, it is. Should I save this though? Nah, I'll use it. I'm going to take this out. This person, whom I am putting the reward together for, I met them at West Virginia Pop Culture Con, which is a fun show, by the way. This year, West Virginia Pop Culture Con was not as successful as it could be because they changed the dates at not necessarily the last minute, but they did change the dates like relatively close to when the show was supposed to happen. And there were also a few other things in the community happening that same weekend that West Virginia PopCon did end up scheduling for. So it was just, there was a lot of things working against them this year. So yeah. Okay, book assigned. Stickers. Mini print is signed. Original sketch page already comes signed. So comes to that. And I'm going to include this backboard just to keep it flat. Facing that direction. Okay. This poor Sharpie. Oops, do not bend. Okay. Label on the front. I'm placing this direction. Labels to seal it up. Okay. So that's 5 packages already. I think I have 2 more people that I got to bundle up for still. Oh, I already got him. Just bundled up his stuff. Theirs has been shipped. Hers has been shipped. Hers has been shipped. Wait, is that everything? Oh, there were 2 backers who have not responded to their surveys yet. So okay, that's why there were only so many Queen Norsa mini prints printed up. Okay, that makes more sense. So then, well, there's one backer, like, yeah, he's a high level backer, but like historically he's never responded to any previous Kickstarter surveys, so I'm not really banking on him to actually fill in on this one, so I'm not going to hold him to that. This other dude, I'm not sure why he's taking so long, so I'll have to send a follow-up message to him, but that's everybody. Holy dang. So now is the point where I send emails to these people whom I have noted already to let them know that their rewards have been shipped. I would do screen share, but this involves typing in tracking numbers and showing of the Kickstarter backer reports, and the backer reports have people's home addresses on them. So I am not screen sharing because I am not making that info public. So for the next like few minutes or so, you're probably just going to see my face as I type on the computer. But that's not going to happen for another hot second. I need to clean this up first. This little mug, my sister, Kia, co-creator of Seeing Him, got me this mug. She said, I saw this in the dollar store and it screamed you. And I'm like, yeah, this is definitely me. I mean, it's a pun, but it's also a llama, and it's also a giant ass mug. It me all the way. Okay, so even if I take aside the 2 books for the other Kickstarter backers who have not responded to their surveys yet, if I did that, that leaves 4 copies of Dragons, a Sketchbook left unclaimed. Although I am going to keep a copy for myself, because that's a point that I like to make, is I like to keep at least 1 copy of every book that I do for myself, because I have this goal in life to make so many books that I fill up a bookshelf with my books. And in order to better visualize that, I like to keep each copy of each book that I print or get published into, just to see how much I've progressed. Now, I don't have all of them. I need to get a copy of Witches for myself, but Witches is like super duper popular, so I have a hard time getting a copy of that book just for me because everybody keeps buying them. It's a good problem to have, but it has made this a little bit trickier. But if I slip that in there, I have a section that's currently this thick is how much space my books are taking up on the bookshelf. That includes books that I have printed and books that I have had my art make appearances in. And that includes magazines. So I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. Now, why was my phone making a noise like somebody was sending me a text message? Is this another notification that there's another house for rent? Oh. So I signed up for a trial of this software called Keep, K-E-A-P. It's software that's aimed for small businesses to help track their invoices, track their clients, and keep their contact information, and do a lot of the like minutiae stuff that would normally take up a lot of time for small businesses. The thing though is that I already use Wave apps, so I'm not entirely sure that I would want to use Keep as well. I'll poke around Keep and see if it has anything that maybe Wave does not have, but I'm not sure that I want to make the switch. Especially since I'm not using Wave apps to its full potential. Right now, I'm only using Wave to send invoices to people, but it's capable of so much more than that. Let's put this on the shelf. Funny story about those envelopes. I got them for $1 at Staples. They were list price $8. Then they were marked on sale for $6. Then I got a coupon in my email because I'm a Staples Rewards member. And the coupon was $5 off your order. And I checked the fine print and there was no minimum amount required. So I got it scanned and I ended up getting a stack of 12 padded envelopes for $1. Couponing at its best. Okay, so I'm going to rotate these around. Okay. That way the pile's a little bit flatter. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I didn't get into what the kerfuffle was with the PDF version of this book. There was a bit of a kerfuffle. The kerfuffle being actually formatting the thing was proving to be kind of a pain in the butt. Because here's the thing. I used to use Adobe InDesign to format all of my books. However, the version of Adobe InDesign that I used on Odysseus, my previous laptop, was a borrowed version of Adobe InDesign Creative Suite 2. So Adobe InDesign CS2. It was not great, but it worked. And it worked fine with the operating system. I tried seeing if there was a way that I could put this on my new laptop, Loki. Loki is a Windows 10. It didn't seem to really like the idea of having Adobe InDesign CS2 on it. So I kept trying to find other ways to get like InDesign on the computer without having to pay Adobe prices for it. And I was not having a whole lot of luck. I even had a friend of mine try to pirate the thing, but he could only pirate the MacBook version of it because that's what he uses. And I could not make it work. And even when he tried getting the Windows version, it still didn't work. So thankfully, it didn't really mess with the insides of the computer super duper much. I'm going to have to delete a lot of it, but most of it is still in Dropbox, so it's not like on my hard drive per se. But I could not make Adobe InDesign work on my machine. So I looked online for comparable softwares that were like Creative Suite 2, but were either free or at least a little more affordable. And I came across, what was this one software? It was an open source software, which stood out to me because I like open source stuff. The problem with this particular software, it was like Screbus or something like that. I think it was Screbus. The problem with that is that the interface looks like it's from 1992. Also, it didn't support a lot of the formats that I wanted to work in. Like, it didn't seem to understand how to import JPEGs. And that's a problem. The majority of the stuff that I work with to format into books is JPEGs. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to work with this software. So I eventually found out about Quark Express, and they had a 7-day free trial of the newest version of their software. So I gave that a whirl and I liked it. It was actually pretty comparable to InDesign, with the difference of Quark Express, I could format a sketchbook, like Dragons' a sketchbook, in 2 hours. In Creative Suite 2 on Odysseus, it used to take me an entire damn day to format the thing. So from going from a day's work to 2 hours of work was like, whoa. It was really, really nice. However, the 7-day free trial only lasted 7 days. Once that time limit ran up, that meant anytime I would try to bring up the program after that, it would keep asking me, hey, do you want to upgrade? It's going to cost you like nearly $300 to do it. And I'm like, I don't have that kind of money right now. And then it would just shut itself off. So the PDF version that Kickstarter backers ended up getting is actually the version of the book that I sent to the printer. So it has not been shrunk down. I am so sorry that it is such a beast of a file, because print-friendly PDFs are freaking huge. So when I am able to actually upgrade to Quark Express in its fullest and actually get the software for it and not just a 7-day free trial, I will format a more web-friendly version of it, and I will send an updated link for the PDF, because like otherwise I don't want to smash y'all's browser with the print version of this thing. All right, I need to put away the washi tape. There's that. This goes down here. Keeping that on standby. I'm going to take this back. I'm going to take this back. Moving this over here. Moving this over here. I'm going to be moving the mugs in a minute. I will be right back. Finishing the last of this tea. If you were curious what tea that I was drinking just now, Bigelow has a new line of teas called Bigelow Benefits, although that might have been a thing for a while. I don't know. I don't know these things. I live under a rock. But they have this line of teas called Bigelow Benefits. And one of these teas is for when you want to have a stress-free day. Because the teas are pretty much named for the benefit that they want to advertise. There's one mix for a calm stomach. There's one mix for stress-free. There's one mix for sleep. There's a bunch of mixes for a bunch of different stuff. I really like the calm stomach and stress-free ones, but that's mostly because I am prone to anxiety. And because I am prone to anxiety, my body likes to interpret that as having IBS-like symptoms. So that happens way more than you think. have mugs full of art supplies, but I don't end up using half of these. So I may have a little art supply clearance sale at some point, or like a art supply giveaway, in which I just put a whole bunch of these into a box and give them away on social media, because the less I have to pack up when I move in the spring, the better. There's just a lot of these that I don't use. Okay. Okay. This thing I'm moving is a commission that I am working on for somebody at the moment. This is, I don't know if the intended recipients are watching right now. I kind of doubt it, but if they are watching, I'm just going to set that aside. I still need to color it because the commissioner wants it in full color, but it's album sized, and I'm going to find a way to like go to my local printer and make copies of this at size, at 12 by 12, so that the recipients, because it's supposed to be a Christmas gift, so that the recipients can get the prints, while the commissioner, who asked for the commission in the first place, will get the original piece of art. I'll plug in my tablet. There it goes. I got a flyer from Moo, which is who I printed my business cards with before. They sent me a little coupon. Thank you, Moo. I have a referral link on my website for Moo. If you click on it and you order through that link, I get a little bit of a cut, full disclosure, but I really like Moo products. They do really nice printing. So I would not put the link there if I did not believe in their products. And I do. I believe in their products. That's a receipt for Staples. Here's the shipping information that I need. Excuse me. That's coupons. Okay. Oh, thinking about the receipts made me think of spreadsheets, which reminds me that I need to go into, you know what, I'll do screen share for this part because this is my inventory. It's kind of a boring thing, but if you are so interested in seeing behind the scenes stuff, not just behind the scenes stuff, but like how I organize everything, this is a good way to do it. Dropbox, it's in Dropbox, 2019 documents. There it is, inventory. I've been running this spreadsheet through the full calendar year, full disclosure. So the numbers will look the way that they do because I've been running these numbers all year. Okay. So it was Dragons, a sketchbook. I have how many? 5 copies? Yeah. Wait. 6. Because I pulled a copy for me. Okay. Hi. Hey, Brie. I'm getting into my lap. My goodness. Okay. Let me count. 9. And then there's 5 packages that I wrapped up over there. Yeah, 5. So 9, 5 is 14. Okay. 14. 5 is 19. Oh, criminy. Okay. Wait. only so many backers who got physical copies of the book. Let me look. Oh, not there. Freaking thing. Half the time it'll go to this website, and the other half of the time it'll autofill with what I actually wanted to do. There we go. Backer report. This is just going to list people's names. It's not going to tell me their addresses. Let's see. 1, 2. Oh, those were the digital backers. So 1, 2, and then 3. 3. They don't get physical rewards because either they got the digital rewards or they opted to just not get rewards. These 2 have not filled out their surveys. So that's 5 people subtracted from the total. 19 minus 5 is 14. So 14 copies of this book. There we go. That's more accurate. Cool. Alrighty. Down to here, to the Dragon Baby sticker sheets. 14. Oh, I didn't even count how many sticker sheets were left. Hold on. I'm going to do that super quick. I'm going to hit new tab because I need to leave the Dragons of Sketchbook tab up, but I will be turning the screen share off because I will be sending notifications to people. So I need the tab up for that, but I'm going to turn the screen share off so that you don't see people's addresses and shit. Pardon my French. All right, let me count out how many sticker sheets I've got left. Okay, 11 sticker sheets left. Okay, I gotta remember that number. Okay, and that's done. So, okay. I was a little surprised that the printer that I worked with to get those stickers done was willing to print them in such a small bulk amount because they usually print their stuff in bulk. Like the smallest order they usually do is 50 individual units as part of a block. So I was really pleased that they were able to do just, how many did I ask for? Like 20, 30? Less than 50. So that helped. Okay. Brave, as handy as you are for, keeping my privacy and making sure my information doesn't get leaked to Google, you have a tendency to show your own advertisements, which is kind of annoying. So, okay, I turned the screen share off. I'm going to be sending notifications and messages out to people, letting them know that their rewards have been sent. Okay. The only tricky bit is that actually finding the person on this list, because like the order in which the receipt shows me the tracking numbers is not the same order that Kickstarter has the backers listed in. So I'm going to have to find the person's name first and then email them. That said, I'll turn screen share off for a hot second more so that I can show you a document template that I use, which is going to expedite this process way faster. I came up with this template a while back because I was really tired of long typing out the notification form. So open file, passport, paperwork. Oh, hold on. I got to unlock the frickin' thing. I need to figure out how to improve the connection functionality of this thing so that I don't have to unlock the drive every time that the computer falls asleep. Okay, so paperwork, studio paperwork, KickStarter documents, tracking letter. Okay. I try to like customize it to each particular person that I'm sending this to, but this is the rough template of what I use whenever I message people. Hey, your rewards have just been shipped. Here's your tracking number. Blah, 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 blah. So, all right, screen share off because I'm going to be working with people's personal information. I'm going to go in order of the names on the receipt. Here's my pen. Good. Send. So she's been notified. Oh, I need to mark the little checkbox that their rewards have been sent. Okay, back to what I was doing. Send. Info. Rewards have been sent. I'll share the screen for another hot second to show that there are little check boxes. Like there's the backer name, how much they pledged, which I probably shouldn't show that, but survey, notes, message, rewards sent, checkbox, and yeah. So I've been checking off the little boxes saying that their rewards have been sent. Yeah, I didn't mean to show like how much everybody pledged. I don't want to shame people into being like, this person pledged more than you did. That's not my intent. That was not what I meant to do. I just wanted to show the rewards sent checkboxes to show how that worked for people who might want to run their own Kickstarter campaigns and see how that functionality worked. Okay, back to sending messages to people. Send. And rewards sent. Check. Check. Whenever I send the tracking letters to people, I do it through the Kickstarter messaging system. I used to send it through email, but that took way too dang long. So I just started sending it through Kickstarter instead. Send. Reward sent. Check. Check. There are a ton of backers for this campaign who have backed previous campaigns before. So like, I know not just their names, but in general, like their addresses, maybe not like the exact lines for all of their addresses, but I know what towns that they're situated in. So that's making this process of notifying people who has had rewards sent where, it's made this part much easier to do. Thank you to all of my regular backers. You guys are awesome. And I love you to bits. That's one thing that I do like about being an indie creator is that while I don't have like an audience of over 10,000 people, the people who do support my stuff are people who I know, even if just through the internet, where I'm like, oh, hey, I recognize that name and that address. I've shipped to this person before. It tickles me. I love it. Did I mark her package as sent? Yes, I did. Cool. Oh, try that again. Send. Okay. Yep. That is the correct address. Oop. Send. Check. 2 more people. Yes, this is a very long receipt. One more. Ooh. There's an old wives' tale that says if your left palm itches, that means you're going to come into money. So this is a good sign. In case you're curious, if your left hand or if your right hand itches, whenever, if your right palm itches, that means that you're either going to shake hands with a fool or you're going to lose money. It depends on which old wife that you ask. But your left hand itching is a good sign, at least according to the old wives' tale. I find it to be true. Because in my experience, anytime that my left hand has itched, there's been an influx of money in some way. Reward set. Okay. Whew. Oh. There we go. All right. Gonna comb through the list again, make sure that I mark everybody as shipped, who has been shipped. Boop. Okay. Menu updates. Backer report. Let me just make sure that the rewards not sent list is mostly reflective of who I just wrapped up for. We're good. Now all I got to do is make a stop at the post office on Monday to ship out those last 5 rewards, and the Kickstarter's pretty well fulfilled. Heck yeah! I was hoping low-key to make it in time for Christmas, but that did not happen. That's okay, though. Okay. Put these aside, and I'm actually going to get up. Oh, whoops. Wrong button. Let's out of that. Out of the cancel. Okay. Okay, I need to bring up a spreadsheet. I keep track of my expenses for my business in 2 different spreadsheets. One's for my overall budget, which tracks my income as well as my expenses, and the other spreadsheet is just for expenses broken down by category. The one that tracks income and outgo is handy for me to determine how I need to budget my money in any given month. The breakdown of expenses by category is handy for tax season whenever I have to claim to the IRS, yes, I spent this much on this particular thing. Okay. Oh, and sweet. It's actually not too bad if I say so myself. Okay. Yeah, that takes care of pretty much all of the expenses for the Kickstarter, or just about all of the expenses. I still got to ship those other packages, but those should cost between $25 and $30 to ship out for that entire bundle. So even factoring that, I still did pretty well as far as my income goes. So I should have enough to pay for an actual full version of Cork Express, which is nice because I wanted to do that with some of the profits from the Kickstarter. It wasn't the original intent with the particular profits, but circumstances being what they are, I'm going to be using the profits from the Kickstarter campaign to getting a version of Cork Express that will work with my laptop. That way I can format future books on my own without having to pirate software. So, and I'm at least going to be able to write that off as a business expense at the end of the year for tax season. So there's that too. Everything's an expense if you categorize it correctly, as I discovered. Also, it really helps to actually make payments on your student loans because you can write off some of that interest on your taxes. Yeah. So if you have any questions for me concerning the Kickstarter or fulfillment or the process of how to fulfill Kickstarter campaigns or anything like that, now's a good time to ask. I'm going to be sorting for a hot minute. All right. I'm also going to note in my bullet journal, excuse me, that I got this done. Okay. I'll turn screen sharing back on here in a minute because, well, I'd like to take a break for a hot second just to like stretch and get some water. But then after that, I'll turn the screen share back on again so that was not the pen I wanted, so that you can see me working on somebody's commission, because somebody commissioned me to make a original character of theirs, and it's almost done. It's almost done. So I would be more than happy to share some of that. That's done. That's done. That's almost done. Oh, I might actually be able to get some writing done later tonight. That'd be nice. I've also been thinking a lot about 2020 goals, not just for the year, but like for the next upcoming decade. And I'm going to be writing a blog post about why I've been thinking about this. I actually started writing it while I was in a waiting room earlier this afternoon, but that blog post should go up next Thursday. And you can find that blog post at my website, linked below on the screen. Handy dandy. Okay, anyway. This pen's right there. Packaged. Parentheses, nearly all KS orders. Again, I was hoping to get pretty much everything shipped out by Christmas so that it would arrive by Christmas. For the last like 5 backers that I just wrapped up for today, it's going to be a toss-up whether it actually gets to your doorstep by Christmas Day or not. I'm sorry. But it should get to you before the New Year's, at least. So there's that. And Jessica, yours should arrive by Christmas. Should. I don't know. I just shipped it today. I don't know what the expected arrival time is. It might have printed on the receipt. I don't know. Let me look. Does it say? 3 days. So it's either going to be on your doorstep Christmas Eve or the day after Christmas. One of those two. I don't know which. Just kind of depends on how they define 3 days. You know what I mean? Oh. Just came across this. This tan paper was what I used for my colored pencil art pieces for the longest time, and this was kind of my test paper for how certain colors would come out. Completely forgot about that. It's been a while since I worked on tinted paper. I should do that again. The Forest Spirit print was made on tinted paper. It was drawn on pastel paper that was tinted green, which I think I still have a scrap piece of. Here. Yeah. This paper was what the Forest Spirit print was drawn on. Here, I'll turn screen share back on so that you can see what piece I'm talking about. She's the piece of art that I am most proud of. I reopened my Store Envy store. This piece was drawn and painted and illustrated on this green tinted paper that I was showing just a second ago. It actually helped the colors a lot when I did that. There we go. Screen share off. Okay. Before I get started on the commission, I'm going to grab my little jar of water. I am thirsty. I'm going to put this away too. Pen. Okay. Maybe green. Well, I forgot to put this in. I have an envelope in my purse where I keep all of my coupons. I need to put it in there. I know what I just said makes it sound like that I use coupons a lot, but I actually don't end up using them as much. I tend to already shop at places that have like super low prices, like Aldi. So, and a lot of the coupons that exist out there are for brand name stuff, and I buy generic because I'm frugal. I'm not cheap. I'm frugal. There's a difference. Water. I'm gonna grab water. Be right back. Really need to sweep the floors. There's so much cat hair everywhere. Okay. The poison jar, because I love this thing. I did have a water bottle with a filter, but I can't find a replacement filter for it anywhere. So I've just been drinking tap water out of this. It might not be the most healthy thing, but it's fine. The water filter that was in my fridge broke. Thanks, Mom. The last time that Mom was in town, she was poking around on the refrigerator because the filter needed change, and then she just started poking buttons randomly, and now it's locked, and now it won't dispense any water at all or ice. So, and I don't know how to fix it because there's nothing in the user manual for how to fix this particular situation. So it's just not going to dispense water or ice anymore. So I've just been drinking tap water out of my poison jar. And I will live with the consequences. This is fine. All right, screen share. Turning that back on so that I can work on this commission. I've transitioned from mostly traditional commissions to doing digital commissions as much as I can. Largely because it saves me on space, at least physical space. But also, it's just faster. It's faster to do it digitally. And now that I have a tablet and computer set up where it's actually efficient to do it, it is faster. When I was working on Odysseus, it was not the fastest way to do it. So I ended up doing traditional commissions more often than not when I had Odysseus. Now that I have Loki and a decent tablet set up, I don't have to do that as much. Okay. new layer. I'm going to set that to multiply. I'm actually to email. I'm switching back to me so that you don't see people's emails that don't want to be seen. Boop. Okay, there it is. I'm going to download this, put it in Commission Work 2019. Okay. I see. There we go. Okay. I figured out what the issue was. I'm still getting used to all of the buttons. Bear with me. Okay, that's a little too pale. So let's... it's a little off. It's a bit better. Okay. There we go. It's about where I wanted it to be. You know, knock on wood, knock on my own head, I haven't had to wrangle the cats very much in this particular live stream. They've mostly just been basking in the sun. I think that's helped. So while the sun has been obnoxious in terms of lighting quality for this video, it has been helpful in keeping the cats distracted. So there is that. That's better. Okay. But I've been thinking a lot about New Year's resolutions. In the vein of goals, because I don't like to think of resolutions as like, oh, I'm going to pledge to be more muscular this year. Like, I would rather have like goals, because goals to me are more actionable than resolutions. And also with a goal, you're able to actually structure a plan to achieve that goal, at least if you do it right. That's why I would rather look at it that way. I need to add some more lines. So in a previous live stream, I had tried talking about line quality. And what I was doing just now with my lines is something that I see a lot of artists on live streams not doing, which is being confident with their lines. A lot of artists who I watch sometimes on live streams will be like, which is a beginner mistake. Don't do that. If there is any one thing that I am grateful for from my caricatures experience, it is being able to draw lines confidently and quickly. Some kind of a neon green color for the shirt. I think about that. Oh yeah, that's suitably noxious. Heck yeah. Ah. Okay. This tablet that I have now is way more touch sensitive than the one that I had before. It's taking some getting used to. Oh, whoops. There it is. Okay. Let's. Oh. There we go. That's better. Get that black line back so that I can. Whoops. There we go. Perfect. Screen share working as intended? Yes, it is. Let me look. Color of the gloves. Can't tell if they're supposed to be pink and the red is a shade, or if they're supposed to be red and the pinks are the highlights. I can't tell. But I'm going to color it red, and if this commissioner doesn't like it, I can let them know, hey, if there's anything that you would like me to change, just let me know and I can change it, because odds are they might want the gloves to change color. I don't know. Oh, I'm going to adjust this one. But I am going to be working with bright, noxious colors because, for one thing, this is a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure original character. For another thing, where'd the mouse go? There it is. Found it. But for another thing, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, no matter what decade that you're looking at, has really bright, noxious colors. So that is why, even if it's not super duper accurate to the reference material, I am going to make this as colorful, noxiously colorful as I can. Because it's only fitting for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Okay. Now, the eyes were blue. What shade of blue? Okay. Like a icy blue. Nope, 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 nope. Fill in the line. There we go. I might actually be able to add pupils to this. Half the time I don't draw pupils in characters' eyeballs because the art shrinks, and trying to put pupils in art that eventually gets shrunk kind of makes the eye look muddy. So after a point, I stopped drawing pupils in the eyes of my characters because of that weird printing limitation, but I might actually be able to add pupils. Hold on. Heck yeah! Well, with that, I'll erase a little bit off the top here for that eyeball shine. What color's the hair? Kind of a dark brown, almost black. Okay, brown shades are about here-ish. I think about that color ought to do. Need to fix. Okay. Okay. Zoom. Dang it, there we go. Gonna fix this ink line here. Colors. Up in this particular part of the hairline that needed touching up. Okay. The hair was a couple of different colors. Let me look. Okay. Blonde and red. Okay. Let's do... Yes, I use the paint bucket tool a lot. No, I am not sorry. It makes work go by so much faster. Okay. I'm trying to get an idea of how much of this hair needs to be red. Most of it. The answer is most of it needs to be red. But now for the gold! Borderline yellow. About there-ish, maybe? Let me see. Brighter. There we go. Previous iteration was a bit too muted for my liking. Fine tip. Up in here. I'm going to make a couple corrections to that mouth. There we go. Much better. Safe progress so far. I'll take care of the background when I do the shades. I'm going to do the shades now. I discovered this trick when I was working on Jamie Roberts. So I got the color flats done, but turning them off. That makes doing this part, the shading, a lot easier to do. Because before, I would try to do the paint bucket shortcut on the shade layer while the color layer was visible. Problem with that was that the shading layer would sometimes interpret things like the gloved hand here as also being part of the shades. So instead of filling in just the section that I want filled in, it would fill in the entire color block. And I'm like, that's not what I want you to do. So turn the colors off and you work with just that shading layer and boom. There you go. Pro tip from me. You're welcome. Because there's a lot of reds going on here, I'm going to have the shade color be like a greenish blue, maybe even a turquoise. That way it'll pop a little bit better. I try to have the shade layer be a complement to the color that is primarily present in a given piece, because it makes the colors pop a little bit more. A little bit darker. Yeah, that's better. One of the big reasons I switched from Photoshop to Clip Studio Paint, Clip Studio Paint being the program that I'm using right now, is because Clip Studio Paint doesn't crash my computer as much as Photoshop does. I remember there was way early in my webcomicking career, there was an interview that I was a part of, but I kept having the webcam software crash on me every time that I tried to do screen share with Photoshop active, because Photoshop was just causing my computer to crash. So I made the switch eventually to Clip Studio Paint, and that worked so much easier. You get a lot of the same functionality as Photoshop without the RAM and hard drive space. Photoshop is a hog. It really is. What's a cat? Wait, was there a pattern on that collar? The black stripe was a bit thicker. Okay. Here's what I'll do for that then. Done everything? Yeah, pretty much. Don't have to do that many color fixings to make that work either. Back to shades. To get the color back that I want, I can just do that. Just checking to see if there were any new comments or anything. Nope. So let's see. I have the light source coming in from the left, so. Yeah, thank goodness for this little viewfinder over here. It makes that so much easier. I'll just There we go. Wait, there's a little eyeball shine over here, so I'll leave that be. I'll leave that. I'll leave this kind of open. Kind of like that aesthetic. That's better. And the cats are extra grumbly today. Figuring out the best way to shade this jawline. Get the ear first. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, is it already 3:15? Jeez, I just looked at the clock. Holy banana pants. Okay. For the purposes of the live stream, probably what I'll do is I'll wrap up this here commission and then I will call it a day. Because again, I have a DoorDash shift at like 5 o'clock, so I don't want this live stream to go any later than 4. That said, I am nearly done with this thing. Okay. Any other colors I need to know? I don't think so. Okay. Ooh. Ugh, excuse me. How's that look? Pretty okay. You see the eyes. I feel like the eyes are off somehow. don't know. I shared the hair, and then I'll take another look at the eyes afterwards. What is my neighbor doing? All right. My neighbor was making some kind of knocking noise, but not at my door, just loud enough to be a distraction. There we go. I want to fix that. Yeah, here we go. Okay, the eyes are not as off as I thought they were. Whew. All right, cool. So that's the shades. Oh, it's almost all the shades. I gotta get down here. Right around them pecs. Can't ignore them pecs. Turn the colors back off. There we go. Now that's all the shades, except for the background. Oh. There we go. Had to turn the power strip on so that the battery could charge, because I saw that it was running kind of low. Okay. Shades. So I'm going to select the background here. Other direction. That's better. I forgot the little, excuse my language, I forgot the space inside of the glasses. Hold on. Did I select that right? Hold on, I'm going to try this again. Okay. Oh, that little nugget too. That's, yeah, should be everything. Yeah, cool. Yeah. That's everything. Turn the white background back on. There we go. I'm going to improve the shading on the eyes. But get the right tone. There we go. This will round out the eyes and make them less rectangular. They're pretty rectangular as it is, but this will make them look less like blocks. Much better. Save. And I'm going to make a new layer for highlights. Now this one, I'm going to make that a hard light. And I play around with the opacity a lot because sometimes with some pictures it can be 25%. Other times it has to be 50. Other times it's like 45. It really depends on the piece. It's a bit better. There we go. Fish. Yeah. Not a whole ton of highlights are needed, just enough to add some more details. And I almost forgot, and I keep forgetting to do this. There we go. Done. And this piece is finished. Whew. I'm happy with how this turned out. So, delete layer, merge. Let me check the image size here. Okay. I like to, whenever I make commissions, I save 2 different versions. One that's a print file. Oh. And one that's a web file. One's printer friendly, one's web friendly. And you want to do that because print friendly, you want to have it at least 300 DPI. Web friendly posting, you want to have it 72 DPI to 150, depending on what it is that you're going for. Okay. Woo. So with that said, that's going to be it for me today. We just lot this live stream. The next live stream, you know what? I think the next live stream may not happen until next year. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break. So next live stream will be, I'm going to do the math here, January 4th. January 4th around, why not, 1 p.m. That's been pretty standard. We'll just keep it at 1 p.m. January 4th, 1 p.m. It's the next live stream. I'll get that all situated and we'll get that. But there's not going to be a live stream next week. I want to take a break. I want to take a little bit of a break at least. And then after that, because it's still the holidays next week. But I'm hoping that your holiday season will be nice and warm and cozy and full of good things. Here's hoping that 2020 doesn't suck. I'll still be active on the blog. I'm going to have a blog post go up before the end of the year. That blog post should go up on the 26th. So keep an eye out for that on my website here along the bottom. That said, again, live stream January 4th, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on YouTube. That's going to be it for me for this year in terms of live streams. But thank you so much for, watching all of these and bearing with me as I go through all the growing pains of getting used to all the functionalities and everything. Like, I do love the platform that I'm using, but there's still a few things that I'm still figuring out. So thank you for joining me on this learning journey. I hope that you have a happy and safe new year. And whatever you decide to do for 2020 for your resolutions or your goals, I hope that you take actionable steps to achieve them. I'll be talking about my own goals next week on the blog on the 26th. I will see you then, and then I will see you January 4th. So thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time. You are awesome.